If evil was a person, ever wonder what he'd look like?
Madeleine Albright.
Madeleine Albright have had her fair share of gaffes over the years. A gaffe, of course, meaning that rare occasion when a politician is accidentally caught revealing his or her true nature.
We have heard that 500,000 children have died. You know, is the price worth it?
We think the price is worth it.
It's always fun to talk to you.
So you'd think that this Beelzebub incarnate would have been driven back into the cave it originally hailed from by now, but no. Instead, it roams around freely and is more tyrannical than ever. In fact, it has been making a comeback as of late, and is now promoting tyranny for you, me, and the rest of the world. This speaks wonders of where the media outlets whom are letting it spread its poison on their platforms stand politically, but that's a topic for another day. So let's take a closer look at what Beelzebub is peddling now.
You have a new book. It's called Fascism, a Warning.
She's out with a new book, Fascism, a Warning, and your timing is incredible.
Yes, her timing is indeed incredible, Mika. The real fascists have just been exposed, and it is the old power structure that have been calling the shots for the past 40-50 years. No wonder Madeleine is trying to pull the oldest trick in the book, labeling everyone else what you yourself truly are.
What are you warning us about? Are you warning us about President Trump?
I am just generally warning about what is going on, of democracies being under siege in many places. We have just seen elections yesterday in Hungary, where an authoritarian leader was elected.
You mean Viktor Orban? A man who stood up to the authoritarian communists who wreaked havoc on his country and threw him in jail in the 80s? The man who is now standing up to the equally tyrannical European Union and was elected democratically by Hungarians last week? You mean that freedom-fighting Viktor Orban? Who actually know what it means to stand up to true fascists and tyrants? God forbid people start electing leaders they actually want and like, as opposed to those pre-approved and packaged by the people at the top of our current power structure.
This much reviled political philosophy is indeed not dead and is rearing its ugly head again.
You know what, Zachariah? I couldn't agree more. The only problem is that the people that you're calling the fascists are not the real fascists.
And I've asked her to tell us what she's seeing.
You always have to find a scapegoat. It's somebody else's fault that whatever's happening. And so obviously Hitler chose the Jews, but what is happening now, Orban, who just won another election in Hungary, is blaming the migrants.
Listen up, Beelzebub. I'm European and nobody in Europe is blaming the migrants for anything. What we do, however, blame our politicians for is leaving Europe's door wide open for millions of people who do not share our cultural beliefs or values.
And we are seeing the kinds of things that I've been warning about, which is a maligning of the press and talking about the press as the enemy of the people.
Well, aren't you? The press is blatantly cheerleading the left. Our so-called objective press is likely more partisan than Pravda was in the Soviet Union. You don't think they deserve to be derided for that when they're openly taking positions in American presidential elections?
The use of slogans and meetings to really generate even more division in societies.
Miss Albright is a leftist shill whom nobody should take seriously. Why didn't she write this book when Obama was elected? When the left elected their darling, the social media savvy Mr. Barack Obama, who knows how to rally the crowds, there was no warnings of fascism back then. Only when people who want a somewhat smaller government find their social media savvy darling, ooh, then we have fascism.
What are the issues? Where has fascism kind of poked its head up again? And what is going on? And it really is a warning. And Fareed, you know that saying, see something, say something. I'm saying do something, and that's what the book is about.
This was the comment that initially ticked me off so much that I had to make this video. We all know how insane Antifa and other leftists are. What she's doing here is she's essentially rallying the leftist stormtroopers and telling them to go out and take action. And we all know what action means when the left springs into action. It's violence, it's hate, it's riots, it's mayhem. The fact that Beelzebub is outright calling for this is no surprise, but that she's allowed to do so on primetime television, well, I guess that isn't so surprising either. In light of her hateful book and her incredibly hateful comments, Madeleine Albright is this week's enemy of freedom.
What are you warning us about? Are you warning us about President Trump?
I am just generally warning about what is going on.